Welcome back, guys. This is the GSL Season 2. I'm Tasteless. With me is Artosis. And damn, we just saw Fruit Dealer dish out some ownage yet again.
Yeah, he's great. What can I say, man? He just tore apart this lesser Terran, and he is king of the nerds right now as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, no kidding, man. He's a monster.
Yeah, you got to at least be Duke of the nerds to give this guy a good game, man. Like, there are very few that are going to stand in his way.
With the next match we have coming up is going to be a TVZ Next Genius.
Actually, a PvZ.
A PvZ?
Yes. Next Genius Protoss against Rain Foyu. Zerg?
Oh, my sheet was stapled together wrong. Okay.
Okay, no problem. But anyways, it's going to be Next Genius. Really famous Protoss player. Used to play on CJ Entis on Idra's team, actually. They know each other quite well from there. They actually practice quite a bit together. A really great Protoss. Everyone was so happy that was in the tournament that he got eliminated so early. He did get eliminated very early.
We didn't really get to see his full potential.
No, not even close.
Yeah, he's actually a guy that everybody's scared of.
He's a monster.
Yeah, he's really good.
He is why Nex is so full of good Protoss players. That's basically it right there. And he's going up against Rain Foyu. And that's pretty cool because Foyu is an old-school StarCraft I clan.
Right.
And this player is actually going to be very good. He's a Zerg player. Going to be very good. But the thing is that Next Genius, as we see right here,
is only ranked as a private.
Yeah, I guess only because he made it into the round of 64. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know how they decide these ranks, but I think they're wrong. Next Genius is a sicko. He is a sicko. We're probably going to see his Warp Gate play. That seems to be what he likes in PvZ.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell from the times I play him, he loves to take an expansion and then make like 9 Warp Gates and just basically kill you if you don't have exactly enough units. If you do, just take more bases. Like, he is so good, man. A StarCraft I pro gamer, a true talent.
Yeah, he's somebody just, his timing attacks are impeccable.
They are.
And he's so good at controlling the units and having them in the right positions during those timing attacks.
Oh, definitely.
And he's great at getting you out of position. He'll engage 3 or 4 times and back up just so that you are out of position.
Yeah.
It's true.
He does.
He's very good at it. It's very scary. Now let's take a look at our second player over here. No, let's not do that. Let's actually take a look at the audience here. Yep. As you can see, lots of non-Koreans showing up as well. Now here's our player. And this is, of course, Rain Foyu.
Yeah. It's
he's also just a recruit.
Yeah, no. One of the Zerg players to make it through. We had 15 make it through out of 64. And this is a guy, he likes Scrap Station. He likes to play ZVP. That's crazy.
And his rival is actually Hope Tortured.
Yeah.
The guy who was formerly known as Into the Rainbow changed his ID to Hope Torture. He was, of course, our second place, our silver medal here at the GSL for Season 1.
That's right. And, of course, he's impressed by Fruit Dealer. Like, aren't we all? And this guy, I don't know a lot about his Zerg vs. Protoss. I played him ZVZ a lot of times, but maybe 3-4 times. A good Zerg vs. Zerg player.
Then the maps these guys eliminated, Next Genius eliminating Metalopolis and Scrap Station. On the other hand, we have Steppes of Ore and Jungle Basin, which were eliminated from Rain Foyu.
I think that's something that's going to be common in any Zerg vs. Protosses that we see. Jungle Basin actually has 2 locations where a Protoss can lay a pylon down and warp into the expansion behind your base, across from the rocks and also across that little river. So that's a map that a lot of Zergs right now are not liking in Zerg vs. Protoss. Obviously, it's going to be very hard to stop anything like that inside your base. That's something very annoying. So I think we're going to see that removed a lot, as well as Steppes of War. Of course, Steppes of War will always be removed from
Steppes of War is just such a pain if you have to be the defender in the metagame. I mean, it's just very difficult. Now, here is our first map. It's going to be a classic map, Lost Temple, a map in StarCraft I as well as Warcraft 3. Glad to see it here in StarCraft II, of course. Map size, we said eliminated. We already seen that from these two guys and talked a little bit about that. Steppes of War, when that first came out, I loved that map. But the more I played on it, I realized the harder it was. Just very one-sided, such short rush distances. Map number 2, Delta Quadrant.
Yeah. And map number 3 will be Xel'Naga Caverns. Now, one thing I do want to point out, this is the first time I've seen a player do it in the GSL. Next Genius, apparently he is a Chunjae. He removed Metalopolis and Scrap Station. Those are the 2 maps that Zergs normally like a lot. I think Shakura's Plateau is going to be added into that very soon as Zergs play it more. But those are the 2 maps that Zergs really want to play on, and he removed them based upon that. We haven't seen anyone do that yet. That's something that I thought we were going to see a lot of, because those are like the maps that Zergs like, okay, this is the map I want to play. but he removes those just because it makes his opponent comfortable. I love moves like that.
Well, the other maps all require very different build orders from the Zerg because the rush distances are suddenly either very tight or, the angles, the concave outside the base is very large. So eliminating the maps that allow for the most standard orthodox Zerg play is a very smart move.
It is. I totally love his choices here. It's actually a good map pool for this matchup. Delquanja can be hard, but we'll have to see.
Looks like we're going to get this game started. It's going to be Next Genius against Flamepow. Over here, center left, one of the best Protoss players out there. He is
Next Genius.
Next Genius.
I love this voice. The more I hear it, I'm like, wow, that's actually a beautiful voice.
Pretty sexy, yeah. Over here at the north, putting both these players very close together, is going to be our player.
Name for you.
Rain also, of course, a very famous Korean pop star.
Yeah, that's true. The voice is actually reminding me, though, by the way, of like a Final Fantasy ghost in like one of those movies that they made about cell phones. I know a lot of nerds out there will understand what I just said. Maybe not you, Tasteless.
That one actually went over my head. Normally,
I'm sorry. I'm
good
actually more
with the nerd
nerdy than you,
jokes.
Tasteless.
No, that is not possible. We're going to have like a nerd off right now. I challenge you to a nerd duel.
I like name all the Star Wars characters and win. But anyways.
Take a look here. Hold that thought.
Yeah,
checking the corner. He wants to see if there's going to be an overlord there.
That's right. A little StarCraft I type of move. You have to check if those overlords are in there. They have slightly bigger vision than your buildings, so they can actually skirt the sides, which a lot of players do like to do.
And the positioning here, the pylon and the gateway, while this does make for a small entrance, this makes for an even smaller entrance.
That's right. That's a tiny little entrance right there. It's a zealot thick, believe it or not.
It's a baby little entrance. So you can get one zealot out and defend an abnormally larger amount of wings because it acts as a filter. And it does look like we are going to see some kind of warp gate style, almost blocking the hatchery.
Well, he in fact goes for a hatchery first, which is still risky against Protoss. If Protoss chooses to just make two gateways, you're still going to lose to that zealot rush, despite the increased zealot build time. So, a little bit of a risky build, more so than against Terran right now.
Probe steals the minerals. The drone's like, get back here, those are our minerals.
And patrolling with the drone at the bottom of the ramp, smart move. And adding a second gateway.
Wow,
now,
okay.
this is a very slow second gateway.
Yeah.
So I'm not completely convinced, but Next Genius is a very good player, and I don't think he'd do this without knowing the timings.
He is a genius.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I was actually expecting the cybernetic score.
Yeah.
Cutting probes, maybe.
Normally you have to go, oh, okay. What? Okay, I see
the
exactly.
cybernetic score is still later, in fact, than the
Yep.
second gateway.
What we're going to see here, I believe, is the quick stalker rush, where you make a few stalkers. They're actually quicker than slowlings, so you can actually basically kill 1 trillion slowlings. And because he goes hatchery first, his gas is a little bit late, his speed upgrade, therefore, is later, and you can do a lot of damage by just getting a few quick stalkers out against Zerg. It's an awesome build, one of my favorites that I've seen, and there you go.
And there you go.
It's
well
happening.
done, Artosis. I was confused by that. You were totally on top of that. Notice he saved the chrono boost here from the Nexus so that he can crank out 2 stalkers very quickly. Both rallied over here towards the expansion hatchery. Now, most Zerg players, they want to save all their drones, well, a good Zerg player does, to have the mining resources. So a lot of Zerg players will neglect getting a sunken colony. Spine crawler, rather.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And the thing is, these stalkers actually come out so fast that they will kill that before it's up. And look at this. Already he sees, here come the stalkers, and this is actually really big. We are going to have to check out how many lings he's going to be making. He is making some more lings. He has started his speed upgrade. Warp gates are being made right now, though, for our Protoss player.
Get a quick shot of this. 2 more gateways coming up here. Pylon being hidden over here.
Oh, wow. This is going to be such a pressure-filled build, and our Zerg player, Rain, may be in a lot of trouble because he's going to have to make a decent amount of Zerglings here. And, ooh, he's getting ready. He might even decide to expand if the Zerg player actually makes enough defense.
With this pylon here makes it very helpful. The Lings, of course, having to go around it like this. 1 Zealot here just in case. Going back to the Zerg space. Spine crawler quite a considerable amount of Zerglings.
Yeah. You know, he's had to spend so much on that defense so far.
He does see the pylon over here, so Rain will be prepared for the rush.
Now the warp gates are opening up, so this is when we're going to see exactly what Next Genius's plan is. He's making a forge and warping in a bunch of zealots, so... And I think you actually warped those zealots in up here. Okay, there we go. Not a good place for those Zerglings to engage. No.
Really nice. Whoa, what is he doing? Yeah. That angle was not good.
Yeah, that's not a place that you want to attack those zealots. But it looks like he may want to actually expand. Look at this, trying to hit over here, but a good block with that zealot. The Zergling's not being able to do any damage at the moment.
Coming back over here towards the zealots. Now this angle here for the zealots is pretty good. They can do a lot more damage.
Yep, the probe in there blocking a lot, and they're killing a lot of Zerglings, but the Zerglings are going to overpower, wipe out these zealots, and then, of course, the pylon. In the meantime, Next Genius, he does not care, man. He just made this guy make a trillion billion Zerglings. Look how many Zerglings are there. It's actually ridiculous. Very few drones, and a Nexus is warping in along with photon cannons. Next Genius is in excellent shape.
Yeah, he's got the 2 sentries out, which can do force field, even trapping the Lings inside this area if they do attempt to engage.
Yep. Now, I'd like to point out, we've seen a little flaw here. Look at the resource tab. We have almost 400 gas for our Zerg player. Realistically, he should have taken drones off gas if he was going to spend so much money on spine crawlers and speedlings. Now he has all these extra resources that could have been minerals instead.
Next Genius is just solid. Some of the best Protoss play we've seen thus yet.
Yeah, he's an amazing Protoss. He's going to make it very deep unless, you know, another huge upset like last season.
+1 on the way. Chrono boosting, though, mostly focused on the Nexuses. Nexuses. The Lings moving out, but this angle is just too good here.
Yeah, no, that's invincible. You're not going to be able to break that with Lings ever. So many sentries as well. And I like this. He's getting ready with a well-placed force field. He's going to be able to do anything he wants against these Lings, and being very smart, not using force fields yet. He's going to force a lot of units to be made by Rain just by threatening pressure here.
Yeah, applying pressure, great technique here.
In fact,
and he will be able to get some of these Overlords out here.
That is not a good thing right now for a Zerg player. You do not want to be spending even more resources on things like that. He's got roaches out.
Now he is going to move forward here. He can force field and trap some of these, but it looks like the Zerg's army is slightly stronger.
Now we have roach speed being made, more roaches being made, as well as overlords, so he's going to concentrate on making a roach-based army right now, which I think is something we're going to see a lot of. And here they come into the center.
Remember, guys, both these players in very close positions. It's going to be kind of tough for the Zerg. He's moving out again.
Now, force fields are going to be so important here. Lays just one down, lays a few down now, and the Zerglings running behind. Nice move with the Zerglings, but it looks like he's going to be able to hold this off very easily due to good force fields.
Protoss taking some damage there.
I'm actually, look at this, another nice attack, but there are a lot of stalkers here. He's going to fall back to the cannons. More and more roaches are coming, but the 4 range really helping them out. Next Genius, nice force field walls, and just dividing the roaches just so well that he has to back up.
Take a look here. He's got overlords out here. He's got a lot of creep. He's going to be able to reinforce this very quickly. Applying some heavy pressure to Next Genius, but the force field's, of course, very good, filtering the roaches as they come in this angle over here.
Oh, wow, there's a lot of units filtering in, and Next Genius, are you in trouble, buddy? You got to back up to your other cannon, and these roaches doing a decent amount of damage, but a lot of stalkers are still left.
Cannon is on the way, but the stalkers can't really move back much further.
Wow, we see some good play from our Zerg here. There's a lot of roach pressure.
He is going to get this cannon. He can take out this cannon as well. No! Cannon defends it. This cannon completes.
Still
resetting
making a lot of roaches and throwing down another hatchery. Very interesting in his main base.
Well, he's going to commit to a bust.
Yeah,
he's not going to
definitely doing
expand.
that. He's already spent so much on this. He hasn't really teched up at all. He's not even getting Roach Burrow or Bro movement because he's fighting against cannons.
So he's essentially going to try to win this with a timing attack.
Yep.
Russian Eater takes out the cannon. He's probably going to back up after that. So all the Protoss has to do is hang on, stay alive,
Yeah.
and continue to upgrade.
And that's exactly what he's doing. He's throwing up some more cannons. He's just still pumping out these upgrades. He's already got the +1 attack. So this is actually not looking too great for our Zerg player here, but he is nevertheless making a lot of roaches.
Nice snipe there, using that new Roach range. Backs up. Got to be careful though.
Yeah, you don't want to engage those roaches head on. You do need some force fields if you want to engage them, but the roaches just coming right in. I don't think Next G has quite anticipated this many roaches. And doing a lot of damage. Good force fields right there, but they just continue to do damage.
He is sending a few Overlords in there accidentally. He can afford to lose them though. He's a little bit ahead in supply.
That's right. You know, really, we see is going to make a cannon on the high ground. I was just going to say he really should be making a cannon on the high ground. That's going to be harder for the roaches to hit. That's going to help him defend a lot. He needs to abuse that range. Even though it's been increased to 4, you can still do some really fancy stuff with the Photon cannons placed in the right place. So we'll have to see here. He's getting blinked. He's getting plus.
Oh, nice. Snipes that cannon.
A lot of
Really
Zerglings
good
coming
play.
in. Nice force field right there. Still losing a lot of units, though. Next Genius, he is under constant pressure here, but a lot of Stalkers and some nice concaves.
Oh, that's it. He's going to hold this. He is making spine crawlers, though.
Oh, that's really
very
cool.
interesting.
Looks like he wants to push in with these a little bit
Maybe
and help
hit
them out.
Yeah, maybe hit the Nexus if you get the creep farther up and up.
Yeah.
I didn't expect this. More roaches are coming down here. Now all he has to do is keep the bulk of this army alive. Cannon's back here.
This is actually really cool. It's like it has reversed from what we normally saw in StarCraft II, which is Protoss pressuring Zerg on 2 base, but now it looks like Zerg is doing that to Protoss. Very interesting.
He's going to get these spine crawlers up here, but they're going to get sniped.
Nice move up by the Stalkers. Takes out the first one quite easily, but here come the roaches. He has to back up, and he might be in trouble. The roaches going in, but the Stalkers using their superior range quite well.
The cannon is out and it's not in range of the spine crawler.
Oh, blink is done. He's blinking his Stalkers out of range beautifully before they die against the roaches. And the roaches are going down, man. Roach numbers dwindling quickly. Meanwhile, the Stalkers holding on. Only a couple spine crawlers left. And Next Genius has broken the back of the push by rain foul.
So impressive. Next Genius held up what was a pretty brilliant rush there from our Zerg player, and I think now he can actually move across the map. Overlords all going to be killed here.
Yeah, this is actually going to have to be GG once he kills those Overlords. He's going to be so far ahead. No units left. And GG. Nice play by Next Genius. That shows you he was under so much pressure right there, and yet he holds it off on the brink of destruction.
That was sexy play. I am really impressed. Now, our Zerg player didn't do that bad at all, to be honest. I mean, he had a nice timing attack, but I think he needed to bring the sunken colonies up a little bit quicker.
Yeah, you know, those spine crawlers, maybe move them one at a time and just leapfrog them forward slowly, something like that. You know, he lost a lot of roaches in some of those confrontations. He didn't quite handle it perfectly. At the same time, Next Genius, he held just about as well as you can expect someone to do.
Yeah.
So I think definitely there, Rain got outplayed. No question.
Certainly. Interesting style, though, using a 2-base timing attack.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard to get an expansion in those positions as Zerg.
Yeah, and just to mention this, Next Genius was putting on a lot of pressure. He forced a lot of Zerglings and a spine crawler, so Rain had to feel behind there. It's really hard to go ahead and take a 3rd base against what Next Genius did because his drone count was so low. He didn't manage his economy properly with the gas. He did not have as many drones as he wanted for as long as he wanted, so he realized, like, okay, a good move here is actually to just pressure. I've already made these units. I already have some roaches out that were meant to hold any rushes. It's time to attack. So I actually really like the play of both players that game. I think it was actually good choices, micro, macro, all around.
I really learned a lot from that game. That was a really impressive play from both of those guys. We're going to go into Game 2 pretty quickly here. Delta Quadrant. And the countdown's actually started, so let's get ready for another pretty sick ZVP. Any second now.
We promise.
We promise. The game is loading. We're going to get this going soon.
Yep. Anytime now.
Anytime now. We're in the game now, and we're going to do the intro video soon.
Yep.